Welcome back from Gen Con, everybody. We made it alive.
Yeah.
I'm Clay. This is Chris with Capstone. We're going to talk about 3 new releases that we just dropped today on our website. This is going to be our Essen premiere release. We'll also have it at PAX Unplugged, which is actually in November this year, a little bit earlier than the years in the past. And see, actually, I think it's before Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
Yeah.
So immediately after Essen, which is around like end of October, Halloween time, we're gonna fly over to Philly. So we'll have these titles there as well for the U.S. But
And related to that, this first one that we're going to talk about, I think that we haven't confirmed it all yet, but I think we're going to have the designers of this game hanging out in the booth and teaching and signing and hanging out, just having a fun time with everybody, because we think that's perfect at PAX. Like that shows that kind of show.
This is a great PAX Unplugged release.
Yeah.
This has got some really neat artwork on it. It's a trick-taking game, for those of you that don't know. It's 1 to 4 players. Not 1 to 4. I'm sorry. We're going to cut that out. It's 2 to 4.
Not one yet. Not one yet. We're trying to figure that out.
But it's great because it's a team-based game. And what I love about it is with team-based games, you usually have 4 players and that's it, like euchre. But this one is a pretty simple trick taker with a unique twist on when you play the cards. But you can play as 2 players, you can play a 3-player game and a 4-player game. It's designed for any player count in that range, and it works so well.
It does. So. It really works well. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the components, Soren. If you can zoom in on this, the Rowdy Ring. I forgot for a second. We called this a few different things during development, but it ended up being Rowdy Ring made the most sense. So this is a board. Are we zoomed in on that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So this is a board where you're going to have your characters who you're playing. So in this case, I have Amazing Grace here at the first position, and then we have the Wretch, and we have as you can maybe tell from some of the artwork, it's a little bit Weird West, but we have Dynamite and Lawman over here, and go ahead.
What's really cool is whatever character, whatever wrestler you're playing, there is a player board for that person, and each wrestler has their own unique ability, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're playing as a team, you'll sit next to each other and slide your boards together. They're double-sided, so like if you're in the opposite seats, you just flip the boards over, and you're good there. So you don't have to really switch seats. You can just flip your board over. They're dual. Actually, these are triple layer boards, and they're really flat. I'm very impressed with that.
Would you show those the other way around?
You want to go flip them this way?
Oh, towards ourselves. Yeah.
Okay,
I did tell them that we were going to do that.
So, like, if Chris is the Wretch and I'm Amazing Grace, this is how we would sit
I'm sorry.
when we're playing. But if we wanted to switch it up later on, we could just flip these over, and it's whoops. Well, it's really hard to do on stream.
Yeah, Amazing Grace. So I'm playing. In this case, I'd be playing as Amazing Grace. But if Clay wanted to play as Amazing Grace, we would have it like that, and then I would be the Wretch instead.
Yeah. But everybody has 10 health, and what your goal is in this game is to pin one of the opponents on the other side to 0 health. And how that works is when you play tricks, there's 4 different suits. You must follow the suit. So if you have that color in your hand or suit in your hand, you must follow the trick. So whoever's in the ring is in first. So they're going to go, everybody has to play yellow now. And the trick is the lowest number is going to win of the suit, of the trump suit. So then you put this.
Go ahead and put that one
second,
on there.
Whoever's in second, which would be on the opposite team, they're also inside the ring, would play the 3. They're not going to win this trick right now because of the 1. And then the third player, which is on the same team as the second player, who's out of the ring, and that's going to matter in a second, decides to play a 4. And then the first opponent's teammate, the guy in first teammate, number 4, would go. And they play a 7.
In this case, they get a pop. And pops are these things where you're going to get these
everybody has a
bonuses. There's a lot of mitigation in the game, because that's what some people don't like about trick taking. But there's a lot of mitigation. So you move up this track, and as you go up here, so what these are cheats. Cheats is a thing in wrestling, but in here it just means that you're going to get things that change the suit or change the value on the card, or in this case, get your Mercy and Damnation special token here for Amazing Grace.
Everybody has a special ability that you can unlock, typically.
Yeah.
Some of it's like passive. It's just always in play.
So there's that mitigation. There's also the mitigation that, let's say this is what had happened, that maybe it was something more like this, and the I gotta find the card. There's a wild.
Yeah.
Yep. So let's say this had been out here and this 3 was played. This would cancel this 3.
Anytime you have the same 2 numbers on the board, regardless of suit, wilds included, it'll just flip over. And so now this yellow 4 is the lead suit, and it's going to win because it's obviously the lowest card on the board. So then the 4th player's like, crap, I got to play this 7. That's the only yellow card I have.
But at least you got to pop.
Bottom Shelf Board Game says, if you're not cheating, you're not wrestling.
That's right.
Wrestling moves. So
Yeah.
the second, this orange guy's on here, so Amazing Grace, wins the trick. They're going to deal 4 damage to the other opponent that's in the ring, which in this case is Dynamite, which would be the other player's board. They would then take 4 damage.
Yep.
I'm going to pretend that this is...
Yep, I'll get another
You
token
just
here.
knock it down 4 steps. Once you get down to 0, you stop immediately. So if I had, 2 health or something and I took 4 damage, I would just go 1, 2 and stop there. In order to take more damage, I would have to receive damage at least of 1 strength. That's obviously very easy to do. But then it gets progressively harder. So then the next time it's 2 or more damage, then I could advance just 1 space. And then finally, to finish you off, you got to do 3 or more damage, and then they're done. That's your pin. 1, 2, 3.
Yep. It's really the first one is really just a reminder that you have to stop there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that is Rowdy Partners.
I do it.
Yeah.
Quick. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we talked about you have your own little board with 4 players, 2 players, however you want to do it. So if you're playing a 3-player game, somebody's going to get a headliner. This is my favorite one.
Yeah.
It's called Big. There's 3 of these guys.
Which one are you grabbing?
I'm grabbing Big Money.
Oh, Big Money's your favorite.
With the bean counter.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
in a traditional game, each player has 10 health. So each side has a total of 20. So Big Money has 20 health, because that's being played by 1 person. And you have this. You still have the same amount of cards being dealt to players, but this bean counter guy has a special diamond, kind of like 7 Wonders Duel if you played that. I'm not going to dive into the details, but that's how that's played. Some open information for everybody at the table. And then if you play a 2-player game, that's when you would both choose one of these headliner cards to play.
And an accompanying manager.
Yep.
Because you can switch up the managers, although they are kind of paired together.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is totally customizable. So let's say you didn't want bean counter, you want a coach instead. Boom, there you go.
Yeah, you get coach instead.
And they each have their own special abilities. So
yeah,
it's just a fun time. Usually this game takes 2.5 to 3 rounds. A round is, I think, 8. Is it 8 cards?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, you're getting dealt a hand of 8 cards, and you play them out 8 times on the board, and usually 2.5 to 3 rounds is when you'll have a winner. It gets really exciting towards the end too.
Yeah, there's only 4 cards that are out each time, so that you don't have perfect information. There's still a little bit of randomness built in with that, but lots of mitigation, and so it's a more strategic trick taker than just pure randomness.
It's very fun too. We showed it to the guys from Pink Troubadour at Gen Con, and a couple of them were like, trick taking is not my thing. And we were so confident, we're like, just try it. I guarantee you'll love it. And they ended up, they said to me, that didn't even feel like a trick taking game. Like I was doing something different. So it's a great feel to it. But that's Rowdy Partners. All this whole package, $35.
Yep, 6 characters when you're playing with a teammate, 3 headliners, 3 managers.
Yep, it's all customizable. It's a great game. Local designers Jason and Darren, they did their release at Gen Con. Was Logic and Lore, I think?
Yeah, they had that.
I know Aaron was looking forward to that one. I had a chance to play that. Rowdy Partners, get your wrestling on.
That is.
It's a lot of fun.
It's fun, and we're looking forward to you all enjoying it too. Okay, so that took a second to put away. I know that other people are looking for this next one and curious about details, and I'm just gonna say this up front. We did talk about and see if there was a way to make an upgrade kit or something like that for those who owned the previous version of this game, but that just wasn't going to happen with the flow changes that we made and the rule changes that we made and everything else that we made a lot of changes Stefan, the designer, David Schneider, the artist, graphic designer for a lot of it, Catherine, the graphic person who helped us out in the rule book, and then me and Phil working on the rule book, and there's been some other. This has been a long time coming. There's just been a lot in it. All that to say, I wish we could have done that, but we can't. This is almost like a new game.
It is a new game.
It really
You gotta
is.
just look at
Like,
it through the lens
yeah.
of it's a new game.
Yeah.
Alexandre says, "Hi, could not wait for this part. What great news!"
So this,
Fantastic.
just keep in mind, this is like a handmade pre-production copy that was delivered to me at Gen Con. So this is very close to the final production copy. A couple small changes will be happening, but we're going to show you here. So
Before you jump in,
yeah.
size. This is Maracaibo.
Yes. Yeah.
So it doesn't really compare.
Yeah, there's a good like 3 centimeter difference here on the
Can't
lid
reach
side.
the Arc But it's
Oh,
over Arc Nova.
Arc Nova. Yeah,
It's about the same length, but the
Yeah.
depth is a bit deeper.
it's a deep.
Alexandre says, "Favorite game of all time for me, and I have a vast collection."
Dude, it's an awesome. This
That's
was the
cool.
first capstone game. So back in 2015, started the company, met Uli at Gen Con, and we had a great conversation. Had a couple beers. It was really nice. Uli's a really awesome guy from Spielworks. And we started with Arkwright, and that came out in 2016 at Origins, and a little bit at Gen Con because it sold out extremely fast. Like it was done in like 3 months. So
Jason Pennick says, "This is exciting news today." And Alexandre said, "Only one sad thing is that I had the fantastic Meeple royalty for it."
the
Yeah.
Meeple royalty insert for that game, for the original Arkwright was phenomenal. Those guys did some great stuff. But let's take a look at this new refreshed edition. It's very much more feeling than the original. No offense to anything, but just we brought it up to modern times in our view.
This is a 11-pound plus box, just for context. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get out the wood bits first. We'll go through a little bit of those. There are predefined setup cards. There's a one for 2, 3, and 4. The factory did not bring me the one for 4. We're doing some final reads on the rule book. I have some people on that, but like literally hundreds of hours on that rule book. Predefined setup. When you open that rule book, one thing you'll see is there's an area, any area where it has red on the background for it. That'll help you just jump into the game, use that predefined setup and those predefined setup cards so that you can get into the game if you haven't played it before. But here are our machines. So wood tokens, these are the correct color.
So for those
Yeah,
of
go
you
ahead.
that don't know, Arkwright is an economic game set in the Industrial Revolution in Britain, I think.
Yep.
The British
Yep.
Industrial Revolution. Kind of similar to the American Industrial Revolution.
And there is Arkwright
That's
himself.
That's Richard Arkwright. Very happy guy. Didn't smile back then. I don't know why, but whatever. What you're doing is you're starting factories. You can have 4 different types. You can have clothes, bread, cutlery, and lamps. Those are the things you can manufacture.
Mm-hmm.
And each factory within has its own level. So you can go from level 1 to 4, and each time you level up, the value of your goods increases. You can have more like assembly lines essentially, and you can hire more workers or machines. This is a game about kind of like how during the Industrial Revolution, machines were kind of replacing the human work effort. I mean, that natural labor market, which is kind of similar to today with AI, we're seeing a little bit.
Yep.
I would say, but there's a whole market in here. So if you enjoy economic games, this is like the quintessential, like the epitome of an economic game, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It
It is also one of the meanest games that you will play.
you can hurt yourself real easily in this.
So the East India Company module is included in the game. In the box here, there's like no separate expansions coming. These ships are ships that you have.
Chagra
Yeah.
says LFG.
LFG.
Let's.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was thinking. My head is all in the game right now. Okay.
Bob Shelf Board Game says Arkwright 2 replace workers with AI.
I'm gonna come back to that in a sec. Well, you're not completely wrong here because I have something in my hand that's gonna. There are a lot of people who are gonna be like, oh, now I can play that game. But what I want to show next, keep showing the.
While you're getting those out.
Go ahead.
if you compare when Arkwright first came out in 2016, it was a big deal. A lot of people were like, "This is such a complex game." But with today's standards, I mean, you've got a lot of Vital's Lacerda games. Just a, I mean, there's a plethora of these like chunky games. Some of those big campaign lifestyle games like Kingdom Death Monster. The rules for those, I would consider a little bit more intense than this to today's standards, because your action on your turn in this game, you select, I think it's one of 5.
I think we might actually see the complexity level of the game go down on BGG, because I think, in my opinion,
Comparatively.
I think that the rule book has improved a lot, and the way that people are going to get into the game.
The user interface
Yeah.
that we designed,
Yeah.
is a lot of Chris's work here. I mean, I'm not going to take any credit for it, because Chris really kind of wrapped his arms around this and did one hell of a job.
And Nathan worked on it too. So big team for us on this. So yeah, real quick, that is the East India Company module. I'm just gonna get that one out of the way, so it's just out of, and
It's beautiful.
yep,
It's so beautiful.
there's the spinning mule and a water frame side to that. There's no spinning Jenny. There's spinning mule now. Just for that. And I think some of these pieces are best explained in terms of like just seeing some things.
I'm going to put these to the sides because these boards get big.
So the goal here, this is probably what I should have just started with. I'm kind of disorganized in my thoughts, but this is probably where I should have started. First of all, this is the worker board. The worker board is not just centrally located. You can put this where you need to. In fact, you're probably going to need to, because this game is a massive table hog. But
Alexandre
yeah,
says, I don't think the original game was excessively complicated. The rulebook made it hard to learn, and the calculations gave the impression it was more mechanically complex than it was.
Very well said.
I agree.
Also the duration.
Agree. The intent is for this. I have not yet seen the vacuum sealed piece that is supposed to go over. This was just delivered to me last week at Gen Con. These pieces will be a natural wood color, more of a beach wood color. David and I picked out a Pantone color to match.
Would you mind
But
doing that more in front of Clay a little bit?
more in front of clay? Sure.
Thank
So what you will see though immediately is this is not a glossy board. This is a dual layered board that the workers are going to fit into. And as you know, you take from the top left to right.
Like you said, there's a vacuum seal that once
Yeah.
you put it in there, it's locked in.
Right. So that you can just refill it, put it back in there, and go into. So that's a major
I do
change.
like the natural wood that you're going to do with that.
Yeah, we were
Nice.
hoping. Okay, so
I mean, they're trying to get this out so we can see it.
yeah, and if you can zoom in on that, Soren. Part of the reason that we didn't just get a natural wood piece here is, and this is just related to production, when you cut out the little collar on here, it always burns these. So the factory tried to do that and just have a natural wood look to it. We're going to have to paint them instead, because the intricate things that factories can do now means that burns also happen, so you have to paint things so you don't see those burns.
There you go.
So, okay, excited about that. Excited about this. So I wanted to have some of those accessible, but this will actually slightly change. We made a change last night, David and I did, to how, so it will look a little bit smoother in here, because you can either hire workers at your factories, or you can replace those workers with machines. So the little space in here, it's all the tiny details, right? Just to make this a very nice presentation.
This is where your factories will
Yeah,
go. So
and-
this is the clothing factory, the green one is.
Yeah.
Kushagra says, oh wow, that's pretty. Might even be able to trick some midweight casuals into playing.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
That's the goal.
Like, have you seen the Galaxy one, the Kenson Key game?
Yeah.
Galaxy Cruise?
And Alexandre says, it looks great.
Thank you. So like here, this is a level 3 factory.
For color.
It would be on this side. This would actually, yeah, this is right. This would be the yellow players. So we see here, this is the yellow players cutlery here, and that would slide in there like that. And we did the little cutouts at the bottom too, so you can just pull those up when you're done. Because there is another module where you can have asymmetrical factories too.
This way you don't have, on the original game, you had a small square tile. It said level 3, the cost and everything, but there were numbers that corresponded to how many operators you would have for each line. And this is way more visually appealing. You can just quickly see how many workers or machines you're going to need to produce your goods.
And here, this is one of the changes, among other things. So here we have some of our basic action tiles. These are color coordinated to the player, and they slot in down here like this at the bottom of your board. So we've replaced all that text that was on them to be language independent, so that we're hoping for business reasons, obviously, but we're hoping for other language partners to be in on this. So this makes this all of this completely language independent. But I also think in terms of gameplay, it's an important change, because now when I see this tile here, I can just I can see what somebody has done without having to read text, and that's true for all of the tiles. So now all the tiles, there is a little bit of language on them, but like it's not. It's mainly icon driven now, where we have.
That's awesome.
Made all those changes.
This just, the presentation of this is just next level to me. It's neat.
And here's the next thing I'm going to show. This one just takes a little bit longer.
One of the greatest games of all time.
So this board, as I said, we kind of changed up how the boards go out so that you have the flexibility to do what you need to do with your space. But these now are where we're going to be putting these tiles. So we are, yeah, that's right. So these tiles now go out here like this onto the board. And then everybody can see them. So if you're like, oh, this works better, this orientation works better for my group, you can do that now, or whatever you need to do. Or maybe you're limited on space, so you have one square table and a little side table. I know people play like that sometimes. If you need to do that, now you can do that. The game isn't all restricting you in quite the same way. And both the boards and the tiles are all about player experience.
These are the development tiles that you can unlock to upgrade your own personal state.
Yeah.
It's I love the style of this. Is very beautiful to me. For an economic game to look like this, that's very enjoyable.
The big one that people are wondering about is, how do we sell our stuff in the game? So this is the biggest board. This is a massive board. First of all, it's got the artwork on it from the front cover, fully shown there, but then it has this side, and let me find something. In the 4-player colors, we have, I'm just going to do 3. Oh, no, here's this one. And here's our neutral importer. So let's say that we were, yeah, it's cool. So our neutral importer will slide in here like this, and then we will have the 4 players that you'll see exactly both how much you will be producing. And then we take these other components here.
This is for the bread factory. During that every round you operate one factory depending on what round it is. So this would be the example for the bread factory.
We have demand limit markers, which is these X's, and we have these crates, which fit perfectly in there too, which would show how many you are producing. So depending on where you're at and what you've produced and all that, you're going to put all those out. We'll put out the demand limit marker, and I just think it's a lot easier to see really quickly what's happening in the game.
Yeah, the neutral importer is the worst.
Yeah.
I hate that guy.
So these slide up and down in these slots here.
As you increase.
Yep.
Love it.
Yep. Very excited about that.
Alexandre says, I translated the rules of Arkwright TCG if you need a French translator.
Oh, well, we are definitely looking for a French partner, and that will partially be up to them.
Yeah, this is what we'll do in Essen in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You mind holding that up to the camera so we can see the artwork?
Do you want me to like do
Yeah.
this?
Just let's take a look up to the camera.
Oh, like hold it up. Which camera am I on? This guy
Right here.
there?
No, right here.
Oh, that one.
So many cameras in here. I don't know what to do.
To this one? You want to see
Let's
it?
take a look.
My hands.
It's pretty artwork worth showing off more.
I think so too.
Okay, and then the final thing, 2 things. Oh, man, there's a lot in here. 2 things. One, just nice wood components. These are not cardboard. But for our cutlery, wow, something happened in the warehouse just now.
Alexandre says, it's fantastic looking.
Thank you. David did a great job. I don't know what's going on out there, but
Oh my god.
I don't know if they can hear that on the camera.
Oh, they probably can't. I think somebody's throwing tables right now.
Anyway,
Flipping tables in the warehouse. It's Friday. It's like a tradition.
they're getting rowdy out there with the rowdy.
Bottom Shelf Board Game says that the game looks good too.
That's great. Yeah.
So we have our bread, our goodness sakes,
Close.
clothing, cutlery, and lamps, and these are wood and crate tokens that you can use on your warehouse. We didn't even show the warehouse
That's
board,
okay.
but that's okay.
You'll see it when you get it.
There's pictures going to be coming soon. And then finally, the only other thing I want to point out, going back to the AI thing, there is a fully done Automa rule book run by these cards. So once you get through that rule book, it's pretty easy to learn. And once you learn how to do that, you can add an extra player to your game, or you can play the game solo right now.
So if we're playing a 2-player, we could throw in an Automa.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of questions here.
I
Okay.
like that it's a small deck.
Yeah.
You know, it's not
Yeah.
like you have to put this huge module into play. And,
First of all, Krishaga says, absolutely stunning. Looks like a tight fit for the table, but it would be much easier to see how much selling each player would be doing.
Yes. Yep.
Alexandre says, may I ask about some or the rules changes for those of us who played the original?
I believe we're going to be uploading those to the website once you finalize.
Yeah, I have. So part of what we've been doing this year is improving all of our processes. On this one was very special, very important. So I had an editor who worked on it before we took it to layout. Nathan, who did Imperial Steam, worked on that for a bit to help. I did the initial translation with Stefan. We took that to Nathan, and then I had some readers look at it blind. I took it back, and we're on version 26 since those readers. And then now I'm having some final readers. And once that's done, then we will be putting it up on the website, and I will be sending it to the factory to print.
Couple weeks.
Yep.
Brennan Reichly says, I never played the first Arkwright, but this looks like my kind of game. Love the art and very excited to get a copy. When is this available?
That's cool. This will be available. We're going to probably have to airship it into Essen. But, man, it really needs to be at PAX Unplugged. I don't know if it's the right show for it, but we'll still have it there. But yeah, we'll ship all pre-orders in late October, early November.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, you can pre-order on the website now, correct?
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just so hard to anticipate how many people are going to want something. I think it's going to do well, and I think today is already showing that with the interest we're getting from people. But so I wouldn't wait.
So strategically, because of tariffs and everything, we've kind of reduced the amount that we do,
Quantity.
Never
Yeah.
Quantity,
sacrifice
not
quality.
quality.
We don't do that. But so Galileo sold out real fast. Tea Gardens, but I mean, we got like 8 copies left on our website.
Yep.
Everything's starting to turn really fast.
Alexandre said, I'm sure the rulebook will be great, but my question was really about changes to some of the original game's rules mechanically.
Yeah.
Maybe an idea of what the East India expansion does.
So it is a module that you can choose to play with, and honestly, my brain is it is a little bit
shipping and
it's more shipping. It's more shipping that you can do alternatively, and it big payoffs with it. But mechanically,
So the East India expansion is more shipping options for the game.
yes.
And what changed in the base game?
We really just kind of wanted the whole impetus for this was to create a more user-friendly experience.
Yeah.
And that whole production that Chris rolled out, that big board with the how you're going to produce and what you can produce depending on demand. That's just for ease of use. That's really the core. I mean, I know Stefan's been doing some stuff.
Yeah, Stefan and I we went back and forth a little bit until we got that right of like that main communication, and Nathan was involved in that too. That main communication of how you sell your goods, it has been improved. So it's not necessarily a mechanical change as far as what you are doing, but how you do it, has been improved.
Yes.
There's no, like I did mention earlier, there's also no spinning Jenny, it is a spinning mule. That is just a shorter version of the game, but it is not any less of the game. There's
solo mode? I mean-
the solo mode is probably the biggest mechanical change. But there's not a lot mechanic for those who know how to play the game. This is going to feel like the game that you loved, enjoyed, and you probably made your own tweaks to. That now you're like, oh, this is streamlined. This is easier to explain to my friends or people that I want to share this game with. And the other thing, I guess, kind of mechanical. It's
So
more,
you're saying that
yeah.
it's the same core game but streamlined and more user friendly.
Yeah, way more user friendly. I think the biggest thing for me,
But no major mechanical changes.
no major mechanical changes. The biggest thing for me though is that change on tiles to where you're not reaching over there trying to figure out what that is, right? That sounds like a silly thing, but it's actually super important to how people play the game. To where you can learn and internalize what an icona is. I think that's super important.
I agree with that.
So, any other questions on that?
That seems to be all for now.
Okay.
I'll
Okay.
take one.
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, it's getting hot in here. Everybody saw this, of course. You knew what was coming. The pre-orders this morning reflect that.
Before we start that,
Yeah.
Alexandra says, thank you, and I'm glad there's no major changes given how great the game is.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
announcement made my day. Great work, Capstone.
Awesome.
We had a good weekend.
Do you want to talk about this one, or do you want me to talk
So
about
at
this?
Gen
Yeah.
Con, Chris hosted a wonderful event at the Indiana State Museum, which is kind of catty corner to the convention center. So we had a whole room there, this tea room, and just the feeling, the atmosphere in there is really classic. Just a nice experience where we invited a ton of media out to play Sanctuary. We had five tables or something like that
Yeah.
out.
One more comment. Mark, right.
Yeah, that's fine.
Great to hear there are no major changes. Original game is perfect. Was just a bit obtuse.
I get that. I mean, it's 2016. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm just making excuses. But yeah, so back to Sanctuary though. We hosted an event, just had a great time. The Feuerland team in Germany came over and was part of that. And we just had a great time showcasing this new Arc Nova style game to a ton of people. And the response was overwhelmingly positive on it. It was great to see. So it's not Arc Nova, it's more of a tile laying game, and the combos are inside the tiles and how you place them on your board. And it plays, I don't know, 60 to 90 minutes. It's a pretty quick playing time. So
Yeah.
this would be great for people who enjoy Arc Nova and want to get their friends into it that might be intimidated by the length of an Arc Nova game. It still has that same feel, that combo feel that you get when you play Arc Nova. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it.
Yeah, we'll just show it off real quick and then be done. And
Oh, I got the right to know. Cool.
yeah, this is the final one. This is the final one. Yep. This is so if you check out Legendary Tactics or Man vs. Meeple or Rado, they all have videos you can see and see. We'll do a playthrough soon too.
Yep.
So I'm not going to go over everything right now, but I just want you to see what you get in here. And this plate is up to 5 people.
That's another thing. Arc Nova doesn't go to 5. This goes to 5.
Right. And so for everyone, they're going to have a reminder card there, player aid. You're going to have your 4 cards here that are,
5.
instead of 5, that are going to guide your actions. And like I said, I'm not going to go over.
This is the Arc Nova style thing where you have this action row, and when you select the thing to do, you slide it down and do it. So, and then you can upgrade them, and they gain in strength naturally.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's the end game trigger is there's a couple, but really I've played this like 3 or 4 times now, and every time it's been this board where you have these objective tiles that you need to complete. So, for example, this one, there's a certain tile called projects, and they're pink. When you have 2 on your board, you can complete this objective. Oh, this isn't the objective. This is just to upgrade your card.
That's upgrading card, yeah.
Wait a minute, man. It's been a minute.
I've taught the game probably 50
Why don't
times.
you jump in? 'Cause
You want me-
the last time I played this was in Origins, like two times.
Yeah, no. So you are in this game. You're
Here's
gonna,
the objective.
yeah, just really quickly, and without getting into it. But the game is right here. It is you take a tile from the display, then you perform one of your actions, moving the card that you take from your actions. Then you might get to play a building, blue buildings, and then you might get to support one of the conservation projects up here. They're going to have. Conservation objectives up here. They're going to have icons like reptiles or the Americas or whatever. You get to do that with these. Then you can upgrade one or more of your cards. That's what these are for. Finally, you do a little bit of administration at the end of your turn. That really is like learning the game right there. Mechanically, that's what's going on. And then you just have to learn how like the different tiles interact and the restrictions on them and things like that. That's where some of the complication, you'll get slowed down a little bit. But gameplay, take a tile, play an action, which might be playing a tile or getting more tiles, and then possibly blue buildings or doing conservation and things like that. Very simple to learn. This is going to be approachable for so many people.
This play rate is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Because the teach on this is not long at
No.
all. It
No.
is so you can jump into it quickly. How the objectives work, so you've got 5 randomized here at the top. So I'll focus on this one. Once you have a certain number of reptiles in your zoo with this tag, based on like a tile like this one right here, you choose when you want to do it. You have a 2, 3, 4, or 5x tile. So if I had 4 reptiles in my zoo, at the end of my turn, I could choose to complete that objective or maybe wait because I know I've got the 5th one in my hand that I can play the next turn, and then you would complete it then. But once you do that, your 5x tile's gone, and then you're left with your 2, 3, and 4 for the rest, for the 3 of the 4 remaining objectives. And once you've placed your 4th objective out there, I think everybody else gets one more turn,
Yeah, everybody else gets a turn after that's been,
and then it's done.
yeah, and then the game's over.
But that's one way to trigger it. Another way is the tiles run out, and then I think if you fill your board completely, that ends.
Yeah, I have seen it in 4 and 5 where if you fill your board completely or the tiles run out, it's usually the larger player counts that happens. And in 2 and 3, that's when you're going to be going through these objective bonuses.
Bottom
here.
Shelf Board Game says, as long as there are monkeys, it will be good.
There are definitely monkeys. There are
Dusty
no.
leaf monkeys.
Yeah,
He's in there.
Kevin already pointed
He's
that.
back.
Yeah, but there's no raccoon. So for those that were looking for the raccoon, start asking for land now for that expansion.
Yep. Yep. So Sanctuary, great game.
Yeah.
Very, very smooth playing experience, and pretty quick too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, let us know later on if you have any other questions in the comments. We'll do our best to answer those. And if you have more questions, I'll be hopping in and out of the forums on Arkwright too. On that, let me know.
Yeah, we got something for everybody here. So, yeah, thanks for watching.
All right.